Oprah Winfrey is one of the most recognized individuals on modern television today, and the reason she is because of her general positivity towards the world. But what so many people don't understand is the way she grew up, and by age 14, she was being raped every day by her uncle and her father, and ended up getting pregnant with their child. But instead of choosing this to define who she is, she chose to look past her own experiences, not dismiss them, but look past that and become who she was meant to be despite and in spite of the pain that was inflicted upon her. She chose to become a strong individual no matter what happened to her. And through this idea of individuals and people choosing who they want to become for the better, we're led to today's quotation from Orange is the New Black. It says, "I'm scared that I'm not myself, and I'm scared that I am." And what I believe the writers of this television show, when they wrote this specific line, were trying to get at is that we as individuals hold a certain amount of power over our own character. We are able to decide who we want to become. Or in other words, individuals decide their own character. We can see that this is true for two key reasons. First, because of situational education, and second, because of discernment. So throughout Orange is the New Black, there are so many characters that cross the screen who are in charge of their own character, no matter what comes their way, and each episode is dedicated to a different character and the pain that they went through. Despite that pain, they are stronger individuals because of it, which is the first reason why individuals have power over their own character, because of situational education. And we can see that this is true by first looking at the counterfactual theory, and second, applying it to Drew Lynch. Now first, the counterfactual theory is a theory which stems from the field of psychology, which states that as soon as we enter into an experience, whether positive or negative, we are able to tell what we should have or could have done differently in order to get a better outcome. Which is to say that we as individuals, when we are thrown into situations, we can use each moment as an educational moment, something that can teach us more about who we are and what we can do differently to become better. Now, to further understand this theory, let's apply it to Drew Lynch, America's Got Talent runner-up. He's a comedian who was hit in the throat with a softball, and it caused some sort of damage to his vocal cords. And instead of letting this define who he was, he let it change him for the better. He explains that because before the accident, he was a jerk, in his own words. He says that he wouldn't have hung out with the person he is today. He let this situation educate him on how to become a better individual. And now there are so many hundreds of thousands of people around America that look up to him as a role model because of this change that he allowed his situations to create in him. Which shows us that we as individuals have that power over every single situation to let it make us better individuals every single day. Now, throughout the TV show Orange is the New Black, each woman has to extend a certain amount of discernment in order to create that change. It's not overnight. They have to exercise discernment to figure out when to hold on and when to let go of certain situations, which is the second reason why individuals decide their own character, because of discernment. Now, we can see this by first looking at the spiral of silence theory, and second, applying it to Audie Murphy. Now first, the spiral of silence theory is a theory which, again, stems from the field of psychology, which states that we as individuals are terrified of other individuals. We know that they hold the power to hurt us. But this theory states that we as individuals need those other individuals, so we decide who to trust and who not to trust in order to become better ourselves. Which shows us that we as individuals need that discernment in our lives to figure out who can make us better individuals and who will ultimately make us worse. Now, to further understand this, let's apply it to Audie Murphy. Now, he was the most decorated American veteran who, of course, when he came back from the war, suffered with so many things that war veterans often do, PTSD and night terrors. But it was the group of those survivors that came back from the war, his squadron, that he was able to cling to. He said through his biography that there were some individuals in his group that he did not trust. Even going through war together, he did not trust them. And he exercised his discernment in who to trust and who not to. And because of that, he was able to become not only just the most decorated war veteran, American war veteran, but again, a role model that children and adults, young and old, are able to look up to. In returning to today's quotation from Orange is the New Black, it says, "I'm scared that I'm not myself, and I'm scared that I am." We were able to see that individuals decide their own character for two key reasons. First, because of situational education, and second, because of discernment. So just like Oprah Winfrey was able to take each and every situation and decide and discern whether or not it was going to make her stronger, I implore us all to do the same.